is the owner and founder of Central Texas Gunworks. And I understand that you have some big things going on with your lawsuit.
Yeah, so we've actually filed a lawsuit against the federal government. It's Cargill v. Garland, and it's a bump stock lawsuit case, but it's more than just bump stocks. It's actually about the ATF. It's about a federal agency. It's about whether that federal agency is the EPA, whether it's the OSHA, whether it's any federal agency that you can think of decides to overstep their bounds that Congress has not said that they can do that, and they decide to do it anyway and go and ban a particular product. And that's what we're talking about. So this case actually has made it to the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans, and they've ruled on this case 13-3. We received this ruling on January the 6th, no less, that basically says that the ATF cannot create law. Only Congress can do that. And we've heard about that, like, the Schoolhouse Rock song, How a Bill Becomes Law.
Right.
Someone in a committee, presents a bill, it goes to the House, the Senate, the president signs it, and then it becomes law. That's how a bill becomes law, not an agency within our federal government.
Well, and it's funny because just when they came up with some of their decisions, even last year, one of the decisions that they dealt with, the legislature is giving away their right or their rights or their ability to write laws, and they're handing it over to these unaccountable bureaucrats.
That's right.
And they're literally writing new laws.
Correct.
And I'm like this, if you want to pass it, I'm going to fight you about passing it, but there's a process, there's a way you do it. And if you want to make law, then run for the legislature.
Right. And so we decided to stand up, At the time, this was 2018, we first filed this case. President Trump was in office, and because of the shooting that happened in Las Vegas, allegedly, a guy used a bump stock, so they decided to ban them because of this one particular instance, banned it in the entire country. And I thought, man, you mean to tell me you're going to walk into my house, you're going to take something that I legally own, that I purchased, and you're going to confiscate it, make me destroy it, and if I don't, I'm a felon? That's not the United States I know. So I decided to fight that, and I, reached out to a bunch of different attorneys. Finally found an attorney that was willing to represent me, that I thought was a great attorney that could actually handle this case, and we moved this case forward, and we won in the Fifth Circuit, which means that only in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi now we win. But we have to wait. Don't go and dig your bump stock out of the backyard. Don't recover it from that boating accident just yet. Let's wait until the government appeals this case and it goes to the Supreme Court. So it become case law, and it will become the Bible for all the gun cases to come across all the 50 states.
Well, it's funny, and I will tell you, there are some people who, how do I want to put this? I'm like this. There's some people who feel that when it comes to bump stocks, they're like, look, I don't own a bump stock. I don't need a bump stock. So they really didn't care about it. And what I tried to explain to them was, here's the thing. If we allow the previous administration who instituted this and the current administration that's continuing to try and push it, if we allow this administration to ban a firearm or a firearm part, to violate separation of powers, to then ban a firearm or a firearm part that we don't like, what's to keep them or the next administration from doing the exact same thing to ban a firearm or a firearm part that we do care about? Now, what have we seen from this administration? There's been talk about suppressors. There's been talk about standard capacity, going after standard capacity magazines. And they're not talking about passing any laws. They're talking about rewriting laws or how they interpret laws to redefine, for example, a machine gun.
They're talking about coming after the administrative way, exactly. And so, when people didn't stand up and and defend the bump stock, now you're right. Here we are, 2023, and they're going to come after the brace. Now they want the the force reset triggers. They want there's no stopping them now, and so
Right.
we have to stand together with this case, Cargill v. Garland, because this case will set the tone. This case is the only case that's in the right place at the right time to shut the ATF down and keep them from coming after our different parts.
Well, exactly. And folks, right now, going after them in the courts, that's the best chance that we have for being successful. Law of Americans to be able to exercise the right to keep and bear arms. Now, how do folks follow your business, your work, or anything going on with the lawsuit?
We made it very easy. If you just go to michaelcargill.com. That's michaelcargill.com, and you can find everything from there. The business page, radio show, whatever. Everything is right there, and we're encouraging people to do that because this case is so important. We're at the point now where we're standing on the heels, the doors of the United States Supreme Court, and the ATF just came back on January the 13th and said they want braces. And so in order to stop them from taking your brace, we're going to have to get this case to the Supreme Court and get the Supreme Court to rule on this case so we can shut them down, and then we'll have case law. That's what we're trying to make here, case law, so that way we can stop them from taking all the other different parts and tools and things that are out there.
Excellent. Well, Michael, thank you so much for standing up. Thank you so much for fighting, and thank you for joining us on the program
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Excellent.
Is that live?
Like our videos,
Okay.
follow, subscribe, like, and share.